the Donald that now has brought in one Hillary Clinton. And she was saying today, Donald Trump isn't the problem. It's all those guys who are on that stage with him. Listen, Hillary Clinton today.
So the language may be more colorful and more offensive, but the thinking, the attitude toward women is very much the same. It just is delivered in a different package.
All right, so I think what she was saying right there is, look, Donald Trump is part and parcel of a much bigger problem, an anti-women party when it comes to the grand old party. A fellow who might disagree with that is Erick Erickson. Eric, of course, the RedState.com editor who disinvited Donald Trump to an event this weekend. Eric, good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Now, I noticed Donald Trump was not invited to this gathering you had over the weekend, but his name kept coming up. So it was this if he was there anyway. Do you regret the disinvite?
No, I don't. I mean, I would have done it over again based on his comments and then reaching out to his campaign to try to get clarification. I got multiple stories, and overnight then they had changed again. So all I wanted was a straight answer of what he said and a clarification, and he was going to do a Q&A, and I would have talked to him in the Q&A. But, I mean, I don't know that it was Donald himself, but members of the campaign, first they didn't want to acknowledge he said what he said, and then they said he actually meant whatever, not wherever, but on the tape it was clear he said wherever, and I just couldn't get a straight answer, so I felt like I should disinvite him from the event. And, you know, I would have done it again. But, you know, to Hillary Clinton's point, Donald Trump being in the race right now, actually, I think she realizes it's a benefit to the other Republicans because everyone's so focused on Donald Trump. And then when he's not the nominee, because I don't think he will be, suddenly people are going to say, wait, you mean the Republicans didn't have Donald Trump, and they'll get a second look at the party?
You know, though, it's prompted a number of responses that, regardless of your reaction to what Donald Trump said or did or didn't mean or did mean, Bernie Sanders, of all people, had said that he thinks that Hillary Clinton is attacked and that it's sexist in origin. Quoting him, I think for a variety of reasons, Hillary Clinton has been under all kinds of attack for many, many years. In fact, I can't think of many personalities who've been attacked more than Hillary Clinton. So aren't you feeding that beast?
Well, you know, this is like if you have criticism of Barack Obama, Democrats claim you must be a racist when it's a substantive difference with Barack Obama. If we're going to play this game for the next several years where you disagree with Hillary Clinton, suddenly you're a sexist, I think it's nonsensical. It demeans the definition of what the actual word is. The Democrats have largely rendered the term racism, they've written it away because they've defined it down. There actually are racists. There actually are sexists. Disagreeing with a Democrat isn't racism and it's not sexism.
All right, I think what they're leaping on here, fairly or not, is that you're one to judge. I mean, you referred to the National Association of Women recently as the National Association of Gals. Do you regret that?
You know, I've apologized for a lot of things. I don't regret that. I think a lot of feminist groups tend to prove that they're humorless. And I don't regret some of the statements that Donald Trump has pulled out. But I have said a lot of dumb things in my life that I've apologized for. There are a number of them I've apologized for. I think the difference between me and Donald Trump is I'm not running for president, and I did apologize, not just change my story.
But you do play an integral role in those who are running for president. It was a little over a year ago that you had tweeted, all these angry feminists in my timeline today, I thought Sam Alito ordered them all home to make sandwiches this morning.
Right. You know, Donald Trump and I can both needle people on the other side, and I don't have a problem needling people on the other side.
But no, all I'm asking is, what is your needling? How does it differentiate from Donald Trump's needling? I understand your intentions. You explain what they were after the fact. Donald Trump has tried to explain what he meant after the fact. How is that different, and who are you to judge?
Well, I'm not one to judge other than I'm a voter, and I think the President of the United States and me, or the person running for president, are at two different levels. The person running for president of the United States, if Donald Trump can't take a tough question from Megyn Kelly without insulting her, how is he going to take a tough question from Vladimir Putin? I'll never be in that position. Someone running for president may be.
But you can't disassociate yourself. You're very influential in this process. You're a conservative
I'm not disassociating myself from any of mine.
You were the one who disinvited Donald Trump. Donald Trump didn't disinvite himself, right?
Right, exactly. And I wouldn't have disinvited Donald Trump had I gotten clarification from his campaign on what he was saying. But the story changed several times, and then the next morning they said he actually did say wherever, but he meant knows. That's not what they were telling me the night before. And if I wasn't going to get a straight answer from his campaign and then deal with it in a question and answer session, I wasn't going to invite him to the event.
Eric, you know, there are indications now that Donald Trump just might agree to that vow not to bolt from the Republican Party, not to run as a third-party candidate. What do you think of that?
I think it's a good thing. Look, as long as Donald Trump is having to talk about Megyn Kelly or me or Fox or whoever, he's off of the issues that really latched onto him with the voters. I, for the longest time, have said the biggest thing that Republicans have made as a mistake is to not treat Donald Trump as a legitimate candidate, and I stand by that. He and I may have had a disagreement here, but he's the front runner. He is a legitimate candidate, and as long as the party treats him as a sideshow when he's sitting center stage in the debate, he's going to stay center stage in the debate.
All right, but didn't you elevate his stature in the party by disinviting him and drawing more attention?
No, I don't think so. I think I had to do it, Neil. I think it was the absolute right thing. If his campaign wasn't going to give me a straight answer on what he said, it was my event, and I wasn't going to have him there if he wasn't going to give me a straight answer.
No, I understand that, but do you think it's time that everyone dialed back the language and the rhetoric? I mean, it wasn't too long ago that you had said, after all these years of feminists saying we need girls running foreign policy to make the world safer, we get Obama, and now look at us. Do you regret statements like that? Because it feeds this narrative that Republicans are insensitive, whether you agree with it or not.
No, you know, listen, anything I say can be found as outrage by the left. If I were to say the sky was blue, the left would be upset with me. But again, I'm not running for president of the United States. Certainly, I think presidential candidates need to have a little more self-control over what they're saying on TV and how they say it. But I'm a pundit and commentator. I've apologized for what I thought I've done wrong.
Well, how do you think, Eric, some of the established candidates have reacted to this? Now, we've had, and we will continue to show, Jeb Bush and Governor Scott Walker, that they've been tepid in their response. Do you think then they should up their response, get more emotional, show more anger? What?
Oh, I think, first of all, they need to actually engage with Donald Trump as a candidate and not try to ignore him. I think Jeb Bush, actually, at the RedState Gathering,
well, you
gave
just
a
said
very
to engage
solid...
Donald Trump, but you didn't even give him the chance because you kicked him out of a forum.
Yeah, absolutely. I kicked him out of the forum because I wasn't getting a straight answer from his campaign. Had I gotten a straight answer, I would have had him there and
yeah, but
told
what
him I
if
would
they
have
were
loved
to
to have
grill
had a
him and
Q&A.
ask for a straight answer and do that? You robbed them of that opportunity, right?
No, I don't think I did. Look, all I wanted was Donald Trump's campaign to tell me whether or not he was going to clarify the statement and what it was. They wanted to clarify to me privately that he said whatever, not wherever. He actually did say wherever. So if they weren't going to give me the straight answer, I didn't want to get them on the stage.
All right. Erick Erickson, thanks for taking the time. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. RedState.com editor, despite what he's saying, he's a very influential guy in conservative circles.